welcome back to Hold the Phone YouTube. Here are our best bets for NFL week number 7. We appreciate each and every single one of you tuning back in on the other side of this screen to the best sports betting show here on YouTube. Like the video, like the video, like the video. It's because of the beautiful people who gather here today that continue to push this show in the right direction, that continue to gather here to find winners. It's really starting to become a movement. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We cannot stress that enough. Loop, we have an incredible slate. Each week, we just continue to find these trends, get in bed with these matchups, up late at night to early mornings. From the minute we open our eyes to the minute we go to sleep, we are thinking about the slate. And each matchup, Loop, I wake up and I think to myself, who has it better than us? This is our favorite, one of our favorite episodes of the week. This is our favorite thing to do. There's nothing better. Thank you once again. It's 30,000 subscriber week. So if everyone on the other side of this screen subscribed to the page, the world would be a better place. We have a very special segment coming next week to the NFL show, both the early week leans and the best bets video. Loop, how are we feeling on this NFL best bets for Sunday football episode?
Week 7. Weeks are going by too fast. If you're new to the program, we're excited to have you. And if if you come back week after week after week, you're probably checking in from Bali right about now. So things are good.
Yeah, nice little vacation with some of the stuff. But again, it's not about the past. It's not about the rear view mirror. We're driving the car. It's what's up ahead in the headlights. We keep moving forward, brick by brick, step by step. Let's dive in to the first game pick of NFL week number 7. And Luke, let's not forget, we start this week 1-0 with the Bengals coming home +5 and the Bengals on the money line. I guess you could say 2-0, but we're going this against the spread.
Yep.
And we go to London. Grab the pancakes, grab the bacon, egg, and cheeses, grab some OJ. Wake up a nice little early morning. Rams, Jags. Luke, when you look at these two logos and these two teams, what pops into your head?
You know, it's funny. When I made the graphics, I said Rams at Jaguars, and it's obviously in London, but it kind of does feel like it's in Jacksonville. You know, a little home away from home for the Jags. So maybe that was a little Freudian slip on my part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they at one point, I think the Jags were going to move to London. They were doing so well over there.
They were.
Felt like they played there every week, too.
They were. And we've been hot in London, dude. It's nice. You wake up, you got a game going on, settle yourself in before the 1 o'clock game starts, sink your teeth into the Sunday slate.
It's a scary, interesting feeling with London. It's either you're stepping in the right direction to start your NFL Sunday, or you're not hot, you're due going into the 1 o'clock slate. It's a very emotional roller coaster, whether if the vibes are going to be high or the vibes are going to be low. Luke, maybe you should move to London, considering you haven't lost there yet.
Where do you think I am right now?
Yeah, that's true. Kid tells me he has COVID.
He's looking up a Big Ben.
Yeah, he's looking up a Big Ben.
Yeah.
Luke, well, let's set the stage. The Rams last week travel on the road to Baltimore. They get the job done against Cooper Rush and the boys. Kind of a battered up, sleazy, sketchy game. They're going against that pathetic, can't stop a nosebleed defense over there in Baltimore. They win that game 17-3. Puka Nacua goes down. He looks like he's dead. He then comes back. Puka Nacua very battered up for this matchup. Luke, this past week, not only if you're a native of Baltimore, not only do they take down your Baltimore Ravens, then they're practicing in your ballpark, just rubbing their sack all around town. You might as well hand the keys to the city to Matthew Stafford at this point. Did you see that all this week? They're practicing in Camden Yards.
Yeah, no cleats on the mound, and then he's wearing cleats on the mound. That could be a little bit of a curse.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking, when you're a professional like these gentlemen are, which we will never understand, tendencies and rituals and habits have to play a big role. And now you go from being in sunny Southern California and have your daily routines. Now you spend an entire week in Baltimore and then fly out to London, something to think about when looking at this matchup. Then on the other side, we have the miraculous miracle win on Trevor Lawrence's birthday on Monday Night Football. They then parlay that into staying at home, in which they lose a letdown spot after an emotional roller coaster of a win against the Chiefs. They then lose to the Seahawks. Now you have the Jags traveling from Duval County out to London. Let me tell you, Elephant is standing over there in the corner of the room. Favorites are 38-14-1 straight up in London. 38-14-1 in London straight up. They're also 33-20 against the spread. So Vegas has had a finger on the pulse with these favorites overseas in London. Also, McVay has gone overseas twice, once with Stafford, once with Jared Goff, and he's 2-0. Over there, both straight up and against the spread. All these trends are leaning towards this LA Rams team, but this feels like there's something a little spooky in these waters. Luke, what else do you have, thinking about this game?
Yeah, I mean, the Jags playing, like you said, comfortability matters here. The Jags go to Europe every year. The Rams, I think, haven't gone since 2019 or maybe only once. And no Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is a big
that's
deal.
Like the heart and soul.
Yeah, if anybody means more, nobody means more to their team than Puka Nacua. He gets the ball on every play.
Yeah.
Big loss.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I was looking. I saw an insane stat that Sean McVay, when he's a road favorite or neutral site, is 35-8 straight up as a Rams head coach. So pretty wild numbers there. But then on the flip side, Matthew Stafford is 0-2 against the spread overseas. He got the job done there once before. There's only been one quarterback to ever get to the territory of 0-3 against the spread overseas, that being Phillip Rivers. Look, let's land this plane. Jags, the highs were high, the lows were low. They've had recent success. They've had a very long track record in recent years of playing in London. This is a sketchy, sleazy game where either one of these ball clubs can get the job done. The Rams are going from playing they got a little beat up in that game. They're staying in Baltimore. A lot of uncharacteristic things leading into this game. They just kind of sleptwalked through the Ravens. Now they have a Jags team who is coming off a loss. I think all roads lead to taking a field goal in this game. Feet don't fail us now. Give us the Jaguars +3 plus a field goal in the first game of the day. Luke, we love this pick.
Love the Jags here. They're getting more turnovers than anybody in the league. I love the Rams with that Puka Nacua. It's, you think a wide receiver, how much does he affect the spread? But he's more than just a wide receiver always. Also, the Jags in 2024, 4-13. This year, they're 4-2. If they win on Sunday, they got more wins than they did the year before.
I just got chills. That's why we're here. Game pick number one, give us a Jags +3. Game pick for the people in the back, the live audience, Jags +3. Give us Jags +3.
Yeah, you like that?
Game pick number two, the game of the week, the Super Bowl, our biggest game, one of our favorite games. The Carolina Panthers packing the bags, heading up to MetLife to play the New York Jets at home. This line opened as Jets favorited. It is now flipped. The Panthers are now favorited, and there are so many nuggets falling out of my ass cheeks. You might need to grab me toilet paper. Luke, what are your thoughts about this game before I could talk for days about this matchup?
I mean, I can't seem to quit the Jets. I feel like every Sunday it's me and Justin Fields. We're running for our lives.
Last week in London, dude, they brought it home for us.
I will say they're 0-6, but they're 3-3 against the spread. So, good teams win, great teams cover. Maybe the Jets aren't good, they're great.
Maybe the Jets are the best team in the NFL, and we just don't know it yet.
3-3, not bad.
Yeah, Jets are 3-3. They're not 0-6. Look, Luke, what if I told you that the longest active losing streak as a favorite belongs to the Carolina Panthers? Not only this season, last season, but in NFL history. The Carolina Panthers have lost 10 straight games, straight up, outright, as favorites.
What?
Yep.
That's insane.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And that is a streak that is still continuing to go. If the Jets would have been favorited in this game, they would have been the first 0-6 team to be favorited in a football game in a very long time. It is flipped. Look, there's not a hungrier dog in this National Football League to find one, to see one go through the hoop. The time, it feels like now, it's now or never. We're at rock bottom.
Oh, yeah.
If like the suit and tie could not be coming out of the dry cleaner quick enough. Look, this is a team who came off statistically one of the worst offensive performances in NFL history last week in London. 9 completions, 9
sacks. Yep. Not
yeah.
good.
9 completions, 9 sacks. One of the worst statistical offensive games in NFL history. Now we're staring down the barrel of a 1.5 point spread against a team who is all sunshine and rainbows right now. Well, let me tell you, the Carolina Panthers are 3-0 at home, but they're 0-3 on the road.
Yeah.
So there does not seem like a better time to jump under the sheets with an 0-6 team ever than right now, right here. Give us the Jets. Plus 1.5. And the Jets might just win then you know what? Fuck it. The Jets are going to win their first game of the season this Sunday. And we're going to dance and we're going to have a parade. Jets win their first game this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you're 0-6. You're probably missing your best player, right? Garrett Wilson's listed as doubtful.
Yeah.
And you're only getting 1.5.
Yeah.
Hop in, the water's warm. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, the water's never been so warm with the Jets. Also, Loop, against non-divisional opponents, Bryce Young on the road is 0-10 straight up and has lost those games by an average of 2 touchdowns.
Okay, I can't believe they lost 10 straight games as favorites. That'd be a hell of a 10-team parlay, all dogs.
Yeah, it's if you've been laddering the Panthers, if you've been laddering fading the Panthers as favorites, you're in the Bahamas right now.
Yeah.
All right. Give us
game.
the Jets plus 1.5 as our game pick. Let's continue on down the line. Luke, everything that we know in the National Football League as we see it is a lie.
Correct.
Everything that we see from the week before is a lie. We have the Giants and the Broncos at a touchdown spread in Mile High. Yeah. Giants are coming out of winning their Super Bowl against an in-division opponent on a Thursday night game, short week. They beat the Eagles belt to ass. While the Broncos, they may have broken the Eagles a little bit with that 14-point comeback in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. Then they travel overseas to London, get the job done against the Jets in a sleazy, sketchy game where, look, that was not a good game for the Denver Broncos. They are almost, if I was in that locker room and as good of a coach as Sean Payton is, you might as well treat that game in London as a loss.
Yeah, you're coming off a loss.
You're coming off a loss. You know, that was not a good football game from a very good football team. This almost feels like a bounce back spot for the Denver Broncos. And we took the New Orleans Saints to get the job done against the New York Giants when they came off of that emotional high, winning their first game of the season for Jackson Dart with when they beat the Chargers. Mm-hmm. Well, we're staring in a black mirror. This is as silver platter as it gets. This is history repeating itself right in front of our very eyes. They get the job done against the Chargers. They then go down on the road and shit down their leg and lose to the Saints. Then they get the job done against the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, you better pack the bags because you're going to Mile High. And now, once again, the public is falling right back in love with this New York Giants team. People are standing in line, taking the Giants plus a touchdown in this game. Well, we're here to warn you that this is going to be belt to ass. Give us the Broncos -7 in this ball game. Loop, thoughts? I mean, this is as silver platter as it gets for us. Buying low, selling high.
It's rare that you get to fade a team who's not that good. You know what I mean? Like, this is the hottest team in America now. That actually, how much do we know about them as a good team? One road game for Jackson Dart, lost in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Denver has only played. This is their only game in Mile High since week 1. They beat the Bengals by 1 million. They beat the Titans by 8 week 1. They're coming off a weird game. I think it's a perfect spot for the Broncos. Might be my favorite.
Well, they've this is their second, or they've played 2 at Mile High.
Yeah, the second game since week 1. They played a week 1, but only 1 since then.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I was a little slow there.
It's all right. That's why we come here. But yeah, perfect spot. I think the Broncos are going to kill them double digits easy.
Yeah, I would ladder Broncos minus 13.5. Broncos, take the Broncos minus 13.5. Look, there's no Malik Neighbors. They're coming off this emotional win. Let's not forget, Loop, not only is Mile High a very tough place to play, not maybe one of the toughest places to play in the National Football League, but do you know right now that the Denver Broncos are on pace to set the single season record in sacks?
Watch out, Jackson.
They have 30 sacks this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. And then you're looking at a team on the Denver Broncos side of the football who is looking at this game and treating this game as a bounce back spot offensively. I mean, Cortland Sutton didn't do much. Dobbins and Harvey didn't do much. I liked a little sneaky touchdown score, Marvin Mims, in this game. It feels like they're going to be using a lot of weapons. I'm looking at Troy Franklin. I'm looking at Cortland Sutton because that secondary is dog shit with the New York Giants. So there's game pick. That's our game pick. Give us the Broncos minus 7.
Feels like 3-0 so far. Come on, keep it rolling.
Now we go to Sunday Night Football, Loops. Now we go to a primetime game.
Love it.
How'd that happen? We got Sunday Night Football with the Atlanta Falcons traveling out of the capital of fluke shit in this world. They played in Atlanta. No one ever knows what's going to take place down there. We had the great joy of rocking and rolling with them against the Buffalo Bills. Now they travel up to Santa Clara, the future home of Super Bowl 60, going against the gold and red San Francisco 49ers, who are coming off a very tough game. That final score didn't necessarily depict that game between the Niners and the Bucs. Now we're staring down the barrel of a 2-point spread. And my thought process is, a lot of people who just watch this Atlanta Falcons team, I'm sure, would love to jump into bed with this Falcons team on the road, and especially with all the murmurs of how the primetime dogs have been barking. Well, we might have to get the gloves on because I think we're ready to neuter a primetime dog here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. What a perfect time. But there's actually 3 favorites in primetime games. I think I like them all this week, which is a good thing considering it's all been all dogs up to this point. But we'll get to Monday night later. The Niners have come off 2 road games, Bucs and Rams, who might be the best 2 teams in the NFC, beat the Rams on the road, played the Bucs tight, and now they come home to play the Falcons, who just coming off the biggest win of their maybe the last decade, whose last time they played on the road lost 30-0 to Carolina. I feel like it's a perfect spot for the Niners.
Yeah, and people are very quick to forget the things that have taken place throughout the season. The recency bias, obviously, is a wonderful drug that we sometimes see. But look, Niners, it just feels like a spot where obviously there's a lot of question marks right now in the 49ers, both offensively and defensively with the injuries that they've had to go through. But at the end of the day, if 23 is standing in the backfield, anything is possible. And it also just feels like a very uncharacteristic, sleazy, sketchy place to play, almost foreign territory for a team like Atlanta traveling up into the Bay Area. Speaking of number 23 in the backfield, Christian McCaffrey becomes like, over the last 40 years, there's only been 50 players who have been able to go 45 and 60, that being 45 receptions on 60 targets, being a non-wide receiver. And the other one to do it in recent years, there's only been 2 guys to do it since, I don't even know, it was Zach Ertz. And now Christian McCaffrey this season through 6 games, 45 receptions on 60 targets. Unbelievable. Christian McCaffrey is the heart and soul of this team. That's why I'm relaying this message, being like, as long as he's behind, whether if it's Purdy or Mac Jones this week, kind of I'm hoping it's Mac Jones. But if it is Purdy, Pearsall is working back into the lineup. George Kittle is working back into the lineup. Juwan Jennings got his feet underneath him last week. However, should be more of a factor this week. I like this Niners team. Give us the Niners -2. It's time to neuter a dog on prime time. We're the barrier of bad news with this one, but I do like this spot, and I feel like I've loved all these spots so far.
Yeah, what a perfect. It kind of feels like, even though it was such a disaster start to the year for the Niners, it's kind of perfect because now they're 4-2, and they're just going to add and add and add as we go from here. Like, they were already at rock bottom, played some bad teams, still managed to win games. I think it's going to be Mac Jones, and I think George Kittle's going to be back, which is going to be big.
Yeah. So for our game pick on Sunday Night Football, give us the Niners -2.
4-0.
Let's continue on down the line.
This is the game of the week right here, right?
Yeah. I think that Cowboys-Commanders game is also going to be awesome. Game of the week, but I mean, this is the top, if you're looking at records, this is the top of the AFC matchup. Indiana Jones taking a trip back once again into SoFi, where they just lost to the Rams. Now they're traveling back to play the LA Chargers, who just skinnied out by the hairs on their ass cheeks down in Miami. Then on the flip side, the Colts, they kind of sleptwalk on defense last week against the Arizona Cardinals. A little bit of a wild card with Jacoby Brissett, where they're able to almost use that to their advantage. Jonathan Gannon, the Arizona Cardinals, and those boys in Indianapolis. It was the closest game we've seen in Indianapolis. Now they travel back to LA. We talk about tendencies. We talk about, some habits. This is not a foreign land for this Colts team. It almost benefits them more how closely this turnaround has been from traveling to sunny Southern California, then going back and then coming back to SoFi once again. Now we have the Colts. Now we have the Chargers. Marquee matchup. You want to talk injuries still on both offensively and defensively for this Chargers team. A lot of red flags being raised. Colts in this game. Loop, I have questions, thoughts, concerns, but when you look at these two logos, what do you think?
I think the Colts, by all intents and purposes, have been the best team in football so far this year. I mean, they have one loss to the Rams, a game they probably shouldn't have lost. The fucking touchdown gets reversed, 88-yard touchdown. And, every time I watch the Colts, whether I bet on them or not, I'm like, God, I wish I had taken them, because they always feel like they're going to score. I feel like the defense is good enough. The Chargers have been okay, haven't really impressed me as much.
People have been getting fucked by the Chargers. They haven't covered in 3 straight games. Yeah, everyone got in bed with them against the Commanders. They lose that game outright. Then everyone gets in bed with them last week against the Dolphins. They don't get that job done.
And now we got, John Ewing, who we're going to have on, is going to tell us that they're one of the 5 most bet teams of the week, the Chargers. So I get to fade the public and take the team that I think's been the best team in football thus far.
That's Loops is getting sharp. And you know how we follow these tendencies? I keep saying that. I think that might be the word of the show. Yesterday it was close your eyes and grab your sacks was the highlight of the show. I think today it's these tendencies that we follow. Again, we're no Albert Einstein, but whatever we've stumbled upon seems to be working. Yep. Knock on wood. But Loop, everyone was in bed. What if I told you last week that the most bet on team to cover the spread in NFL week number 6 was the Indianapolis Colts?
Makes sense.
They don't cover against the Cardinals a 9.5 points, a 9.5 point spread. Now we then go back to LA. Everyone is then now fading them. Those same people who got fucked on the Colts last week against the Cardinals are now getting their money back, fading the Colts, taking that home short favorite in the LA Chargers. Put it on a billboard, put it on a t-shirt. We like to call that double penetration. Give us the Indianapolis Colts to get the job done. Give us the Colts plus 1.5. Give us the Colts on the money line.
Yeah, I feel lucky. I feel lucky that everybody wants to bet the Chargers, and you just sit there and take the Colts, who have looked like the greatest team in the NFL so far. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, all he does is score touchdowns. He's on my fantasy team. Thank you very much. I can't wait to watch. This is the game I'm most excited for.
It's an honor and a privilege. It's an honor and a privilege. You know what else is an honor and a privilege? To be able to go for glory with a 6-leg parlay once more. They gave us another week.
God.
They gave us another week.
The game picks were just foreplay.
Yep. Somehow, some way, they let us get to another Sunday. That's actually pretty good. 6 legs are going for glory, tradition like none other, plus 1,000. You know, we have some dogs barking on the porch. Some of the puppies are in the front yard. We're taking a couple favorites. This week was a little bit more tough trying to navigate.
Yeah.
And we have a couple alternate spreads in this week, which we have not done yet this season through 6 weeks of the NFL. But it's only because we're scared of some of the bigger favorites in some of the places.
Yeah.
So we like a lot of the dogs this week to be barking. So with that being said, Loop, let's dive face first into our 6-leg going for glory NFL week number 7 parlay. Who has it better than us? Leg number 1, Loop, you do the honors because you did it last week. It came home. Let's do it again the same way.
Leg number 1 and leg number 2 are the two favorites we like most to win. Leg number 1, the Denver Broncos against the Giants. It's going to be belt ass. We broke it down for you about 10 minutes ago. And leg number 2, my Green Bay Packers. Going to Arizona, I feel like the Packers are so due to blow the brakes off somebody, and Arizona might be the perfect spot to do it.
And we're getting Kyler and not Jacoby.
And we're getting Kyler, which we like.
Which I like. And Marvin Harrison Jr. goes down last week with a concussion. I feel like the defense should buzz. This is a wonderful place to play. Fast track for a team who likes to put up points. We've been waiting for the Packers to kind of,
And I will say, like, last week, they don't cover against the Bengals, but then the Bengals come out Thursday night and look like the greatest show on turf. Maybe the Packers, how 6-point win against the Bengals actually wasn't such a bad win. It was actually a good win.
Yeah, and that was a lot of stuff coming in the second half. Like, if the Packers would have maybe laid it on a little bit more against that Bengals defense, maybe it's a different story. But, shout out Joe Flacco and the boys, and more so Matt LaFleur. Please.
Come on.
Let's get the job done in Arizona.
Put the foot on the throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put the foot on the throat.
For legs number 3, 4, and 5, we are rocking with an alternate spread of 3 underdogs in spots where I feel like people are just counting out these teams, closing their eyes, getting sucked by Vegas, and we are here to tell you, let's take a couple points, let's get a little sleazy, and let's take these 3 dogs. So for leg number 3, give us the New York Jets at plus 4.5. Leg number 4, give us the Commanders at plus 4.5. I'll get to that one in a second. And leg number 5, let's take the Colts at plus 4.5.
Yep. Love it. I mean, in order to make a 6-leg parlay, sometimes we buy down on money lines, take the favorite. Let's buy up on some dogs we like. Give us some extra points to play with.
For the first time this season, too, we're trying to get a little sharp. We're trying to get a little cute here.
What could go wrong?
I wrote down this note, and I just want to tell it. This is a rare system of where we might see triple penetration, where people faded the Commanders in LA versus the Chargers. The Commanders get the job done. Then those same people tailed the Commanders versus the Bears. Then the Bears went outright. Now people are fading the Commanders versus the Cowboys. What's the worst that could go wrong down in Jerry's world? A brand new triple penetration. How about that? Find another hole.
Look, this is going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. I like both offenses here, but the worst unit on the field is still going to be the Cowboys defense. Diggs, he got hurt at home doing something. Like, this is a perfect spot for Jaden Daniels to show he's the best player on the field.
And how many times, I feel like this is episode number 3, Jaden Daniels does his thing when it's the least expected, when people are counting him out. Then when the expectation, it feels like, is on Jaden Daniels, that's when he tends to fuck people over. I think there's a tendency where you ride with Daniels, in the unexpected territories, and you fade Jaden Daniels. So whatever you think, if you're at home and whatever you think about Jaden Daniels and your expectation is going into a week, do the opposite and it'll probably work out,
Also, I want to say this. I feel the same way about Dak. like I feel like when Dak, you have low expectations for, count him out, like he's going into that Packer game, 40 points, and now he's favored at home. Everybody, CD Lamb is back. Maybe this is where we get the not so great Dak.
Yeah, like how about us? Like, oh, CD Lamb's back. Oh, this spread is now flipped. Oh, Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. Everyone just watched the Commanders lose the Bears on a national stage. And I mean, we're staring down the barrel of a 1-point spread. It is so sketchy, so sleazy. This game probably is decided by 3-4 points. Probably is decided by 3-4 points down in Jerry's world. Who knows? This could be a situation where Brandon Aubrey is trotting out with a couple seconds on the clock to try to either win a game or possibly lose a game. Imagine a Brandon Aubrey missed kick.
And then you could just turn the TV off. Who cares? We covered the 4.5. All good.
We have plus 4.5. How about that, dude? A little hot take. Brandon Aubrey misses a field goal for the Commanders to win down in Jerry's world. Let me just throw some shit at the wall and see what happens. For our sixth and final leg, bring home the gold. John B. up in the land of gold. 1949ers gold. Give us the red and gold. Give us the Niners. -2, neutering a dog. Sunday Night Football. Loop, who has it better than us? So, for the other people on the other side of this screen, 6 legs, plus 1,000. Broncos on the money line. Packers on the money line. The Jets, Commanders, and Colts, all plus 4.5. And for our sixth and final leg, tuck us in, Carrie Underwood, Niners. -2. So Broncos money line, Packers money line, Jets plus 4.5, Commanders plus 4.5, Colts plus 4.5, Niners -2 for the people in the back, plus 1,000.
I could have gotten plus 1,000 odds on you not saying seat at the table when you started talking about the 49ers.
Holy shit, yeah.
Maybe plus 10,000.
I can't believe I didn't mention a seat at the table. Fellas, Sunday night, all we want is a seat at the table. All we can ever ask for. You know, when girls ask, what's the only thing guys want? What's the only thing guys want? Well, let me answer it to you. A fucking seat at the table. You know?
Correct.
And that's what we're going to get. When the Broncos win, the Packers win, the Jets plus 4.5, the Commanders plus 4.5, the Colts plus 4.5, Niners -2. Come on, Luke. Come on. All right. That's our 6-leg parlay for NFL Week 7. I can't believe they keep letting us do that. Now it's time for our $500 touchdown score.
Yeah, look at the top of the screen, dude. I mean, people have been clamoring for it all year long. We hit them all last year, and we kept thinking about it, and we kept forgetting. We got a lot going on. A lot of plays up in my brain. Ideas sometimes go out the window. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is a shout out to a kid on Instagram who continuously DM me each week saying you have to bring back the $500 touchdown score. His name, I wanted to give him a nice little shout out because this is literally just thanks to him. His name's Jake.
Come on, Jake.
His name's Jake. So shout out Jake. Each week he would just DM me saying $500 touchdown score, $500 touchdown score, Can you give us the $500 touchdown score? You need to bring back the $500 touchdown score. And each week I would send him a guy and forget even who I sent to him. And each week it hit and we're 5-1.
Yeah. Now we
last week was
people.
Last week was Devon. Yeah. Last week it was Devon Achane. And now this week.
Now the pressure's on.
Now the pressure's on. Pressure is a privilege. And right now, our $500 touchdown score for NFL week number 7 is Keenan Allen. Luke?
I'm scared.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not getting my numbers right, week number 1, this man scored. Week number 2, he found 6. Week number 3, he found 6.
Okay.
Week number 4, radio silent. Week number 5, radio silent. Week number 6, radio silent. So now all roads lead to a new chapter. Where is this trend going to take us? Are we due or are we dead? Well, let me tell you, Loop. Amon-Ra St. Brown leads the National Football League in red zone targets.
Okay.
Number 2 is Keenan Allen. And he has not scored in 3 weeks.
I like that.
And when I look at, what did you just tell me the biggest game of the week is?
Colts-Chargers.
We're not picking the man, we're picking the game. And
Yes.
This is the game of the week that we want to be in bed with a couple fireworks. Feel it in the plums, fellas. We wouldn't have 2 balls without our sack, and this week it's Keenan Allen to find 6.
I will say, too, I got to shout out BetMGM. If you want to take a first touchdown score on Sunday, put in the first touchdown score. If he doesn't score first, you get a second chance to win your money back if he scores second. Just had to get
Gosh, dude, I feel like that has to hit.
It's going to hit.
That felt so good saying Keenan Allen.
It's going to.
I feel something inside of me right now, just knowing that I have a good feeling. If this hits, it will be generational. I will be so happy. Give us a $500 touchdown score backed by popular demand, Keenan Allen to find 6. And then
we keep raising this. We keep raising the stakes.
And then we can clip this to when he scores, and that will be awesome.
We keep raising the stakes. Like we got the 5 game picks, then we got the 6-leg parlay. Now I got to sweat fucking Colts-Chargers, and I'm going to need my Colts, and I'm going to need Keenan Allen to score.
Soon this episode's going to be 2 hours. we're going to have so many things to go through and so many things to talk about. But hey, we do have a very special segment next week that is going to involve including the community. And where we, we're going to tease a little bit where we take a bet and it's for the people. And then we're going to be giving the winnings to that bet to the people on the other side of this screen. We're going to get involved. We're going to get dialed. It's going to be one hell of a ride the rest of the football season. But before that, let's go to John Ewing. Let's go to John Ewing, our BetMGM insider. Now welcoming onto the show, one of our favorite segments, our guy John Ewing, our boots on the ground guy over at BetMGM, going to tell us where all the money is, who's taking what, a couple player props. John, welcome back to the show.
What's up, buddy? Welcome to week 7. I can't believe we're already here.
I know. We're already through a third of the way, soon going to be halfway. The weeks, we need to slow down. I feel like blink your eye every week, it's Thursday Night Football.
But I love it. And today I got 5 teams that are most bet to cover and 2 player props to cover with you.
I cannot wait. This has been very successful, hearing the things that you say that then translate to what we end up taking on this side. So this is a very important segment. Everyone get the pen and paper out. John, the floor is yours.
I have a feeling you're going to be on the opposite side of a lot of these. They're all popular favorites, and we'll start with number 5. It's the Chargers. They opened as 1.5-point favorites. 77% of money is on Herbert and Co. to cover, but the line hasn't moved. I think a lot of this is probably driven by Daniel Jones. Do people still really trust him? Still have memories of him with the Giants, but I was looking at some of his numbers, man. It's been impressive this year. Under pressure, that's typically when quarterbacks struggle the most. He's completed 37 of 56 passes, a 66% completion rate, best in the NFL. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Do you trust Danny Dimes? Are you taking the points with the Chargers?
I think about it, they just lost in SoFi a couple weeks back in an absolute barn burner against the Rams. Now they take a trip back to SoFi, this well-rounded team in the Colts, and they're coming off somewhat of a game where the defense really wasn't on their best performance. So I'm looking for the defensive side of the football of the Colts to maybe bounce back in this game. Who are the Chargers right now? They skinny out of Miami last week, and now they're at home. Still a lot of injuries, both on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the football. John, if I'm not mistaken, I thought early in the week, around like Monday or Tuesday, I was seeing some signs pointing towards people going in the Colts direction. Has that almost kind of flipped as the week has gone on, or am I wrong?
At BetMGM, it's been Chargers action. Again, it's still pretty early, even right now in the week, and so much of the money is going to get placed on the weekend. And with that small spread, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a little bit of movement, or even if the action does kind of balance out a little bit.
There's nothing people love more than a little short favorite at home to close their eyes and roll with the Chargers. Right now, me and Zach, we're leaning Colts. We're leaning Colts. So that's music to my ears. What else we got?
Okay. Number 4 most bet team to cover this week are the Eagles. 60% of bets and money is on Philly. They've lost 2 in a row. No way they lose 3 in a row, right? Under Nick Sirianni, Philly, it's just 7-14 against the spread after a loss. So I think a lot of times bettors expect them to bounce back. Historically, they have not done it, at least not against covering the number, although this line is really small. Eagles as 2-point favorites.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Are the Eagles really going to lose 3 in a row? And then you're staring at a spread that is less than a field goal. The sirens are going off over, the red flags should be being risen, however you want to put it. Look, the only thing that worries me is if you are jumping in the boat of the Minnesota Vikings, which obviously seems like the sharp side. It's hard for me to swallow losing a football game to a good old friend Carson Wentz. I mean, that would be demoralizing, especially for the city of Philadelphia and these Eagles in the state that they are in right now. So it almost feels like a season on the line moment for the Eagles. And then on the other side, it's a very tricky spot, however, for the Eagles. And we've seen in the past, when it rains, it pours in Philadelphia. This is such a tricky game. Crazy enough, right now, my lean would be the Vikings. And I'm really trying not to be biased, but it's really hard to see the Eagles lose this game. But from everything that we've seen in the last 2 weeks, nothing tells me otherwise.
Yeah, I agree with you. This line has ticked down a little from open 2.5, but that half point, not really that significant, not through a key number.
But the fact that it's coming down and yet you're telling us that everyone's jumping in bed with the Eagles is very, very worrisome. Very worrisome.
Maybe the ugliest game on the board, Browns versus Dolphins. Cleveland opened as 1.5-point favorites, moved to 2.5. Plus 70% of bets are on Cleveland in this spot. But we've seen the Browns struggle as favorites since 2024. They're 0-5 straight up when favored to win, and they haven't scored 18 or more points in 11 consecutive games.
Look, when I look at these games in bed after the Sunday night slate is over and I'm scrolling through the next week, this was a game I immediately looked at, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a classic spot that the Browns get the job done, and it's a very tough place to play in the dog pound in Cleveland. But the fact now that you are telling me that this is the third most bet on side of a spread in NFL week number 7, and we're putting our faith into Dylan Gabriel is a very, very, very scary thing. Everyone is closing their eyes, taking the short home favorite because this is just a spot where the defense thrives for the Browns, and it's such a tough place to play, and we know the Dolphins are coming up, and they haven't showed much. If they lose this game, Mike McDaniel is probably fired at this point after starting, this will now be 1-6, 1-5, whatever it may be. I want to take the Browns, and I truly think this is a game that they do win, but this worries me. This worries me. It almost makes me feel like it's like very similar spots and trends in the past where people close their eyes and they take the Chargers at home versus the Commanders, and the Commanders come out and just get the job done. At the end of the day, this Dolphins team their record might not depict how good of a team this can be, and if Tua shows up, the better quarterback here is clearly Tua. We haven't seen much from Dylan Gabriel. This is a very, very scary game. But in this game, I would have to take the Browns. I would have to take the Browns.
The defense is the best unit in the game, right? So
especially at home.
Bank on that at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Definitely the struggles as favorites and the struggles of that offense. You never, if you can't get over 20 points, it's tough to win.
Yeah, and I mean, Dylan Gabriel, where everyone's putting faith in Dylan Gabriel, is a very, very scary thing to hear.
Okay, number 2, it's the Lions. They're 5.5-point favorites. 83% of money is on Detroit. But we've seen Baker Mayfield really succeed as an underdog. 16-8 against the spread since he joined the Bucs. He's been playing out of his mind. He's jumped from 30-1 to plus 325 to win NFL MVP. He has the third best odds in the league behind just Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So Baker balling. They're getting more than a field goal, but the public loves the Lions.
Lions, everyone always loves. Look, also mention the MVP odds. That is such BS that Baker at this point wouldn't be the favorite, just based off the fact that we've seen week in and week out him needing to make a play and make a drive happen for this team to win, and it seems to happen every week. Look, I feel like this is the classic spot where Lions get to come back in the comfort of their own home, and everyone riding the high of Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, seeing what they have been able to do week in and week out. Let's not forget last year, the team who handed the Lions their first loss was this Tampa Bay Bucs team in Detroit. And so now here we are again. I think with this Monday night doubleheader, I'm just going to close my eyes and not worry about a spread and just take the Lions to get this job done, because at some point it's just too much to handle in the NFL with Baker Mayfield. Can he really just continue? Don't get me wrong. He probably has a great game, but I don't think you might as well just send him off to Santa Clara if they can go into Detroit and get the job done this week. I think the Lions do win this game. The 5.5 points, though, does worry me a little bit just based off of how close every game has been with the Bucs.
For sure. At least it's just a one score that they got to win by, right? And in the last 3 years, the Lions have covered as favorites 70% of the time. So
every game.
Seemingly, yes. The Lions have been very good to bettors. That's why they continue to get a lot of support. Okay, the most bet team to cover in Week 7 is your New England Patriots. They're touchdown favorites against the Titans. Nearly 90% of bets and money are on the Pats. And a lot of this, obviously, Drake May has looked strong this year, but most people, I believe, here are fading the Titans, who are just 5-20 against the spread in their last 25 games. And I know we had talked off air earlier in the week about maybe a bump after you fire your coach, but went back through the data, and teams that fired their coach were only covering about 36% of the time against the spread. It jumps to about 50% over the remaining games. So there is an improvement, but it's not. It's nothing great, at least.
Give me the Titans 100%, whether if it's at +7 or +6.5. Welcome back into town, Mike Vrabel. There's nothing like a group of guys who have to rally together after losing their head coach, losing their leader. There's going to be something a little bit different about this ball game after the firing of a head coach. I am so in for taking the Titans. It can't get much worse. You know, they haven't covered at home in I don't know how long. Maybe since I was in high school. Who the hell knows at this point? The only way out is through for this Tennessee Titans team. Like you said, everyone knows right now Drake May is the best quarterback in the NFL statistically right now. The New England Patriots are rolling on all cylinders. Get the job done against the Bills. Get the job done against the Saints. This team is rolling, but I think there's going to be a little something fluky with welcoming in Mike Vrabel back into town with a team after firing their head coach. And like you said, everyone in the world is on this Patriots team, whether if that's on the money line, which we are definitely staying away from, and definitely on the spread. How aren't the Patriots, the brand new Patriots, going to beat this dog shit Titans team by a touchdown?
I think that explains it perfectly. Yeah, the Titans have been so bad. Pats, 7-point favorites. Most bet team. The sportsbook will definitely be with you, rooting for Tennessee to keep it close.
Gotta put on the suit and tie. Buy low, sell high. That's the story of the NFL.
All right, before I go, 2 quick props to touch on. Saquon Barkley, over 70.5 rushing yards. 99% of money is on the Eagles running back to have at least 71 rushing yards in this game. But he hasn't rushed for more than 60 yards in 4 straight games. He's only top 70 rushing yards once this season. He did it 16 times last year. That is crazy.
Unbelievable. He's only had 16 carries total over the last 2 games on these 2 losses. There's a lot of things to figure out in Philadelphia right now. I blame maybe A.J. Brown for some of this chaos on the offensive side of the football, trying to change up an identity with a team that's 4-0 at the time. Look, the Eagles are going to have to rely on Saquon for the time of possession, trying to maintain this game on the road. I love this number. I'm already, funny enough, I had no idea that you're going to say Saquon Barkley. I already took his rushing receiving, which is sitting at 95.5, a number that I don't even know if he's gotten to this season. I know for a fact the last 5 games in a row, he has not gotten to 100 yards from scrimmage. John, if we were sitting here last year at this time, his rushing prop would be at 95, 99. Now we're getting rushing and receiving sitting at 95.5. Look, the Eagles are going to go out guns blazing. You got to rely on Saquon Barkley. I love this one. Something has to give. The turntable's got to turn.
Okay, and last one, Rashee Rice, Chiefs receiver, coming back after serving his suspension. His receiving yards prop opened at 46.5 yards. It's up to 56.5. 99% of money is on the over. And in the 3 games last year he played before he got injured, he was averaging nearly 100 receiving yards per game. So this is definitely one bettors like. And you know me, as a Chiefs fan, I'm hoping they're right with this one.
Well, here's a narrative. I don't think they're necessarily going to need Rashee Rice in this ball game. They're going to spread it around. They're going to be getting Juju and Hollywood, a couple of the tight ends. You're going to see Noah Gray bouncing around. They're going to be working it on the ground. Rashee Rice, I may have just found a bet that I absolutely love this week that I would have never even thought of unless our great John Ewing would have come on. I love that under. This is the first time I'm hearing of this. Give me Rashee Rice's under 56.5 receiving yards. Tell me where to sign the dotted line. John, you know it as much as I do. Andy Reid in a game like this is going to be doing things, pulling stuff out of the hat, just, also staying conservative, pounding the rock with Pacheco and Hunt. I bet 8 different guys catch balls in this game, 9 different guys catch balls in this ball game. And also, once they get ahead, you really think they're going to be just airing it out to Rashee Rice this ball game? I think it's a very slow and steady wins the race here. I think we have to take this. I don't want to take this. I think we have to take this.
You're right. They're double-digit favorites. If they get up big, they start running the ball, control the clock. Maybe Pat's not slinging it as much. So if you bet the over, you're hoping the Raiders keep this game interesting so that
this is just going to be a boring. This is going to be a boring football game. Where Spags' defense is all over. You might get a Chiefs defensive touchdown the way Geno has been trying to protect the football. I mean, this might be my favorite prop of the week. I'm on board with this. This is the gift that just keeps on giving. I'm so glad that you told me this.
All right, I'm glad I brought you one that you love then.
Because who isn't, like, the billboards around the country are Rashee Rice is back, Rashee Rice is back, Rashee Rice is back. I will go if he comes out and he has a great game and he has 70 yards, 80 yards, 100 yards, I will tip my cap. But it's in our DNA when I hear something like this that when everyone's going left, we have to go right.
I love it. Well, good luck, buddy.
John, always a pleasure. Really appreciate the time, and we'll see you back next week.
Awesome. Can't wait for it.
And now before we wrap up the show, Loop, it's been one hell of a ride, a 40-yard dash through all of these plays. I wanted to give a bonus segment. Because of the things that we heard from our guy, John Ewing. Loop, the second most bet on prop this week being Rashee Rice from sea to shining sea, billboards around the country. Rashee Rice is back, Rashee Rice is back, Rashee Rice is back. And then I thought to myself, in the spirit of a $500 touchdown score, fuck it, let's do it live. Let's do a $500 player prop to sprinkle it on top on the icing on the cake. It's a 30,000 subscriber week. The vibes are high. We appreciate each and every single one of you on the other side of this screen. So why not add one more thing, one more segment, one more chance to just go for glory? And Luke, Second most bet on prop of the week. 99% of the bets are on over. Rashee Rice receiving yards. He's back. He's back. Rashee Rice is back. Well, let me tell you, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't going to need Rashee Rice in this ball game. Give us, literally, go to the kitchen, grab a plate, grab some silverware, and serve it to me on a silver platter. Give us, for $500, our $500 prop of the week, our first time ever doing this, Rashee Rice under 64.5 receiving yards.
It's funny. It's funny. I just, before the John Ewan segment, was talking about how the stakes keep getting higher and higher. I got to sweat out the 5-game picks and the 6-leg parlay. Now I got to do a $500 touchdown score. And now I got to sweat out every snap of the Chiefs game to make sure Rashee Rice isn't getting the ball.
I'm going to be watching these games on Sunday butt nude, because if I was wearing clothes, they would be soaked. And I wouldn't want to have it any other way. We appreciate each and every single one of you on the other side of this screen. Share it to a friend. Tell it to a neighbor. Show it to the mailman. We thank you. We appreciate you. Let's continue to raise this show as high as it can go to the mountaintops. Grab your binoculars so we're looking all around from sea to shining sea. We appreciate you. And as always, we'll see you on the other side.